Cindy McCain, the head of the UN World Food Program, said over the weekend that northern Gaza is currently experiencing full-blown famine. That famine is moving southward towards southern Gaza. Currently, as you and Mr. Kirby have said, the two main checkpoints for aid, Kerem Shalom and Rafah, are closed, and the president has asked for those to be reopened. This is an ongoing pattern. Israel closes crossings, the president asks for them to be reopened. The crossings are eventually reopened, some aid starts to flow through again, but then Israel cuts off the flow of aid into Gaza once more, even though the president has said multiple times that it is important that aid be flowing continuously, and he seems to keep pushing for it, only to get these one step forward, two steps back results. Does the White House have any plan to convince, cajole, pressure Israel into allowing a steady flow of aid into Gaza, other than asking nicely?
So let's just give a little bit of readout. Over the past, since early April, the past several weeks, we have seen over 5,000 trucks entered Gaza. That includes almost 200 humanitarian and commercial trucks a day. On average, entering Gaza in the last 3 weeks, some days 400 plus truckloads of enter.
Israel closes the checkpoints.
It is important to let the American people know that we have seen an uptick here, and it is important. There are other crossings. These are not the only two. But to your point, it is unacceptable that these two crossings are closed, which is why the president called the prime minister directly yesterday to ask and to say that the Shalom crossing should be open. I have said at the top, to answering one of your colleagues' questions, that we expect the crossing, the Kerem Shalom crossing, to be open tomorrow, including Rafah. It is important. We agree. It is important to get that humanitarian aid in, and we will continue to do so, continue to make sure that we get as much humanitarian aid as possible. That's why we've been upticking our efforts. And it is also why the hostage deal is so important. This is why the Cairo talks are critical and important, which is why we've been supporting those conversations. Obviously, we need to get to a hostage deal so we can see a ceasefire, get that humanitarian aid in, a surge, obviously, in that aid, and get hostages home. So that is going to be our focus. That's going to be our focus.
Does the president consider other uses of American leverage to improve the humanitarian situation in Gaza?
We have seen, I just laid out what we have seen. Wait, you gotta let me finish here. You just have to. So we can have a back and forth, but you gotta let me finish my answer. That's why we've seen an uptick in humanitarian aid. That's why we have seen an increase in humanitarian aid since early April. That is because of the president's leadership. We need to get more in. We know and we see and we understand the dire situation in Gaza right now. We got to get that in. The hostage deal is important, and we're going to continue to work on that.
We're talking about these upticks, but there is a famine right now.
And I'm acknowledging that there is a dire situation in Gaza. I am acknowledging that. We understand that, which is why the president has worked so hard in the last several months to get more humanitarian aid in. That is why we're working around the clock to get the hostage deal done. So I think we're kind of talking in circles here, but the president is committed. He is committed to getting this done. Okay, Peter.